Hello and welcome back to another video. So this is a self-working card trick. There's no setup required. As long as you can count, then you can do this trick. So I'll do a quick performance and then a tutorial straight afterwards. The trick starts off with getting either 3 spectators to pick out a card each, or 1 spectator to pick out 3 cards. It's entirely dependent on how many people you have. There we go. So in this case we have the Ace of Diamonds, the Ace of Clubs, and the 8 of Hearts. So you explain to them, memorize your cards, make sure I can't see your cards at all. Now, if you do only have 1 spectator, it's probably best that they have a friend, because trying to remember 3 cards is not easy. I mean, certainly I'm going to struggle in this trick. But yeah, so I would certainly, if there's just 1 spectator, I would make sure they have someone with them. So I explain to either the first person or just the person. So put the first card on top of pile 1. Again, make sure you don't see the card. And then you explain you can cut the second pile anywhere at all and place it on top of your card. There we go. And then you explain, now put the second card onto the second pile. Again, make sure you don't see it. And you can cut the third pile anywhere at all and place it onto your card. And then finally, the third card will go on top of here. Now, sadly, there's no cards to cut, but we'll just put some of the remaining cards on top of your card anyhow. And so now you explain, so this is pretty much a race. Whoever sees their card first, shout out that you can see your card. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. So remember, if anyone sees their card, you need to shout out. So watch very carefully. It's a bit like Snap, but different. Hopefully one of you sees your card soon, because this is getting very messy very quickly. Okay, so no one's seen their card yet. Okay, never mind. Well, round 2, we may still get a winner yet. So, let's see if we get a winner. Watch the cards very carefully, because they are going down pretty quickly. Okay, no one yet. Alright, well, never mind. Well, let's see if we can find a winner this time around. No? Okay, well, we're getting a little bit short on cards, so hopefully we get a winner. No? Okay, well, in that case, it looks like not every race has a winner. Sometimes a race can be a draw. So this trick is self-working. The only thing is learning to count whilst doing something else. That is the only tricky bit. So you're going to start off with getting 3 cards out of the pile. Now, for simplicity for this, we'll just use we'll use the King, Jack, and Queen of Clubs, which I should have done in the trick itself, but there we go. Okay, so let's say these are 3 cards that are pulled out. Now, whilst they're memorizing their cards, you're going to create 3 piles. Now, the first pile is going to have 10 cards. And the other 2 are going to have 15 cards. Now, the easiest way to do this is try and count in batches of 3, okay? So you just palm 3 off, 6, 9, 10. It's still going to look like you're counting cards, but if they're trying to memorize their cards, then they're not going to be concentrating on you too much. And again, you just basically want to try and get the correct amount of cards across in each pile. 3, 6, 9, 12. And if you can learn to talk while you're doing this, in whatever nonsense you can think of, then that'll make the trick even better, because it looks like you're focusing on something else. So in the end, you should have 9 cards left over. So then you explain to the first spectator to place their card on top of the first pile. And then you get them to cut the second pile wherever they want, like so. And the second person puts their card on top of the second pile, and again, they can cut the pile wherever they want. And then the third person places their card on the final pile. And then you basically place the rest of the 9 cards on the top of the third pile. Then you square up all the piles. Now, this is important, but you need to then take off 4 cards from the top and place them on the bottom. That can look as natural as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't draw attention to it, then not many people will actually pick up on that. And that is the trick done. Then all you need to do is just to remember to deal face up first of all. So you just do face up and face down. And you can make up whatever reason you want for this, whether it's a race or just see whatever you want. So you just keep on doing this all the way through the deck. It's important not to mess up the deck, okay? Now, a few things is if it starts to get a little bit messy and you want to kind of square it up, always square up when you end on this card here, because then it's easiest to remember where you're up to. Because there's not, if you get this sequence wrong, then that is it. The trick will not work. So if you need to square up, and this is the only important pile. This pile does not matter. This one does. If it starts to get a little bit out of control, wait till you've dealt on top of it and then square it up. So you know specifically that the next card you do is a face-up one. Okay. And then you repeat the process again. And this itself is not easy. It looks easy, and maybe just do it slowly at first, but it can be quite confusing for some unbeknown reason. And then again, you just keep on going all the way, and because it's a self-working trick, there's nothing you need to do at all. The only thing you need to do is to learn how to count, oops, and how to deal face up, face down, and that is it. And by the time you've dealt out all the cards, the last 3 cards remaining will be the 3 cards that your spectators... This is a cool trick if you do have more than one spectator. It is... Learning to count whilst they're doing something is important. Certainly trying to do in batches of 3 does help. Do practice that though, because it isn't easy to do that. It isn't easy to count while doing something else, or to make it look like you're not counting. So certainly practice that. But it's a very cool trick, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I shall see you next time.